right, welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez. I'm live on the GSMC Sports Network every Monday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, all the rumors, all the drama. We talk about inactive statuses. We talk about injury updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings. We also talk about promotions from WWE, like WWE, AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, NWA, MLW. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling all around the world, internationally, we talk about it here on this show, 1010%. So don't be shy and drop that, Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show so you guys can get some more awesome wrestling content. Make sure you guys drop a comment after watching the video, or if you attend one of our live shows, make sure you guys hit up that super chat, those super stickers, because you guys are super duper awesome. Can't be, definitely love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the appreciation. Definitely thank you guys for tuning into all these amazing shows with all these amazing podcasters who have one goal in mind, to make sure you guys consume all the sports content that you guys love so damn much, courtesy of the GSMC Sports Network. All right. So without further ado, we have The Undertaker, the Deadman, Mark Calloway, under high scrutiny on the hot seat right now, based on some comments he made during an interview with Bully Ray on the Busted Open podcast. Obviously, this all kind of stemmed from Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and the WWE legend. A rare public appearance by Vince McMahon, but they were spotted at Super Bowl 59, obviously watching the Kansas City Chiefs get their arses kicked by the Philadelphia Eagles. But the main thing around this, obviously, we haven't seen Vince McMahon since he stepped down from TKO and WWE after the horrific allegations of sex trafficking, as well as allegations of obviously in the past with like hush money and ring boys and all this other stuff, like just a lot of negative public relations right there. And during an appearance on the Busted Open radio, The Undertaker defended Vince McMahon, his love for Vince McMahon. He said this, and I quote, "He gave me an opportunity to make something of my life," which he did. But overall, that opportunity, then you could ultimately, at that point, you got the opportunity, and you kind of did it yourself. And then he went on to say, "We became very close friends after my father passed away. He was a father figure. He was a brother. He was a mentor. Always treated my family with the utmost respect." And obviously, I feel like, how can I put this? You kind of have a dichotomous nature. It feels like The Undertaker right now is, like I said earlier, I feel like he did get, sometimes you do talk. You catch your foot in your mouth. And right now, I feel like more or less, like I mentioned, he's just acting a little insensitive towards some of the people who were victims of the allegations, people who have been victims of sexual assault and stuff like that. Obviously not related to Vince McMahon. I'm just talking, about life in general. But I definitely get the fact that he was a father figure to you, and I definitely know that he will probably never ever see Vince McMahon in a negative, image. And kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. But overall, if you, based on the stuff that he continues to say, I got to be honest, it was a little, for that, when I read that first part, I was like, you know what? It seemed like he was just trying to do right by Vince McMahon. He wasn't necessarily trying to, be on the wrong side there where he would be forced to slander his friend's name. But The Undertaker then claimed that he had no idea what was going on. And, if you're as close as as you claim you guys were, there could possibly be, maybe he turned a blind eye to all the stuff that was going on backstage in WWE. One of those things where I was like, you know what? And, I got people do it all the time. People do it not like that all the time. I'm talking about different circumstances. Sometimes you go to work. Sometimes you see something funky happening, and you're like, you know what? The right thing to do would be tell somebody about it. Confront him. Alert higher ups that this is happening. But back then in WWE, it was like a natural thing, and doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it okay, but The Undertaker probably had the mentality that's like, you know what, I'm going to go in the ring, go out there, do my thing. I'm going to be a good employee. I'm going to listen to my boss, and, what's happening over there, neither here nor there. I'm not going to consume myself into that, because it could ultimately reflect negatively on my public image, on the story that I'm trying to create, which he did. He's The Undertaker. He had a tremendous WrestleMania, record. So he's like, you know what, I'm not going to F with that. Not gonna up with that. That's happening over there, and it's one of those things where sometimes if you see something, you should definitely tell somebody. But on the other hand, I guess I can kind of be like, okay, I guess I understand. He didn't want to get into it. He's your friend. He's your mentor. He's a father figure to you. So you're not gonna tell him what's what. You're just gonna be there for a friend when it all goes to crap, and he winds up in a court case. Then yeah, you can be there for him. That happens. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Then he continues to say there's only one judge, obviously, talking about, the man upstairs, so, people should get off their high horse. I was like, whoa, when I read that, The Undertaker's, and then he said, you don't have to like me. I don't give a shiitake mushrooms, basically what you guys have to say. I feel like at that point, I feel like maybe he doesn't want to accept it. Maybe I'm trying to, defend Taker a little bit here. Maybe he feels like, the allegations were untrue. Maybe Vince McMahon told him they were untrue, and maybe he bought it. You know what I mean? Like he mentioned in an interview, Vince McMahon treated his family with the most, with the utmost respect. And it's like, oh, he would never do that kind of thing. He would never ever do those kind of things, which ultimately he did. But allegations, and whatnot. But just to kind of go off and say people need to get off their high horse, like it's crazy. Yeah, I get it. Everybody makes mistakes, but I feel like The Undertaker was kind of categorizing criminals, or trying to categorize people who had allegations, and just be like, oh well, it's up for God to judge and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And usually that's a nice little argument, but at the same time, not a lot of people. It's not that you can't compare apples to oranges here. What he did was terrible. Like, it was pretty damn bad, dude. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He was trying to throw Vince into the category of people. Hey, people make mistakes, man. People make mistakes. But it's not like what Vince did. Like, it's crazy. Then he went on to say, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Like I said, kind of a stowing at, people. They have, bad backgrounds too. People do wrong things too. Why should Vince be treated differently? And I don't know. It's just, like I said, very insensitive, a little wonky. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Taker, but I think I don't know. He also had he's also had guests on his podcast that were kind of controversial to people. I feel like The Undertaker, definitely his time outside of WWE right now, I feel like he's just kind of saying F it. I'm fully retired. I'm not going to make an in-ring return. So I'm just gonna kind of go haywire a little bit. I know a guy. Well, I don't know him, but there's a guy that did that, and his name's Hulk Hogan. And then he came to the Netflix on Raw, and then he got booed the hell out of. I don't think that would ever happen to Taker. I don't think that would ever happen to The Undertaker. I don't think his legacy is in jeopardy. It's one of those things where it's like, I go to work. I do my work. I put on entertainment for all the fans, all the wrestling universe out there. But you don't necessarily have to like me as a person. You just got to respect, what I've done for the people, what I've done for the company. But, as of, with this new day and age of digital media, essentially you're kind of like your own public relations representative. The things you say on media, there's Twitter/X, there's Instagram. There's a lot of different platforms that people could definitely see this as an opportunity to be like, damn. What's wrong with The Undertaker? Why is he saying stuff like that? Why does it seem like he's not acting? Why does it seem like he's not respecting, or he's not being not sincere? He's not being sensitive toward these kind of allegations, and it's just I get it. I get it. Father figure, mentor, friend, all that. Very controversial, but I don't know. I feel like maybe somehow, some way, the Undertaker will ultimately clean this up and be like, I didn't mean it like this. I didn't mean it like that. So, I still love the Undertaker. I definitely one of my favorite WWE superstars of all time. Not really, not really a fancy on that hot take he dropped. But, I don't know. He's kind of going on his own little wavelength there, man. Obviously, his wife, Michelle McCool, was inducted to be in the Hall of Fame in 2025. She's a two-time women's champion, and she's a two-time and the first ever women's, Divas champion. So congratulations to Michelle McCool. The Undertaker, my man, if you're ever going to watch this, and I doubt you will, but, I guess, put yourself in other people's shoes. I guess that's the overall moral of the story. That's the best I can come up with. I'm sorry. Moving on, we have Samantha Irving dropping a new single. Today is Valentine's Day. Hopefully you guys are, going to treat your special someone to a nice little dinner. Maybe you got them flowers or chocolate, or maybe, the women got the men, tickets to go see The Weeknd or something. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. Now I don't really know nowadays what men really want on Valentine's Day. I don't think I've gotten a Valentine's Day gift in a long time, to be brutally honest. But we're going to find out Samantha Irving's gift to the world. She's dropped a new single with her amazing voice, and we're going to talk about it when we come back. So, hey, do not go absolutely anywhere.